Hi, Collective. This is going to be a reading asking, how can you align with your highest self? With this highest version of themselves. And today we are using the Quantum Tarot deck. Six of Pentacles. I got this card last night. I'm really drawn to the green this time, this heart chakra energy. You need to focus in on your heart space. Do things that are heart-led. Be around people where your heart, you feel that heart resonation with. I think that's a word. But around people that resonate with your heart. A lot of the time, our intuition comes from this space, from our heart space. And so it's being around people that give you those warm feelings of love, and also doing the things that like excite you, the things that you look forward to. But love in this heart space is how you're going to align with that highest timeline, how you're going to attract those blessings and that abundance to you, is when you're operating out of a heart space. And a lot of your fixation right now with your highest timeline could be around your abundance, which is understandable. But whatever comes to mind when you think about the career that you see yourself having in the future, that's what you need to move towards. And not come up with, excuses as to why you can't necessarily do it, but looking for the steps that are going to put you in the position of doing it. Because we can talk all day about the reasons that we feel like we can't do something, but when does the conversation change to the solutions that we can come up with to move towards that highest timeline that you really want? We got the Ten of Swords here, and again with this heart space energy, your highest self is asking you to release this sort of victim mentality, this sort of energy of it always happens for everyone else, but it doesn't happen for me. Or that, worked out for them, but it can't work out for me sort of energy. Your higher self is also asking you to release people that keep you tethered to this energy. You could have been stabbed in the back several times, stabbed in the heart several times. But I implore you to look back on those situations and think about what you've learned, what you've taken from it, what you can alchemize and turn into a part of you that you really love. But the minute that you see your heart as a weakness, you're falling into this energy of self-deprecation and not really trusting yourself in the way that you should. It doesn't matter how many times the world tells you that it's wrong to be a loving person. It's not. A similar energy that I had last night. Literally a lot of the same cards as well. So I would look at the reading from yesterday or last night or earlier. I think it was like 12 a.m. this morning that it posted. One of Wands. Yeah, to align to your highest self, you really have to fall in love with yourself and everything that that encompasses. That doesn't just mean focusing on the things that you are easier for you to love, but also the things that are hard for you to love, the parts of you that are hard for you to love. This is giving grace and empathy to the jealousy that comes up, to the resentment that comes up, to the anger that comes up. This is even giving and extending love and understanding to the maladaptive behaviors that you have that you may be trying to change. No one wins in this life with yourself when you're frustrated with yourself. The minute you get frustrated with yourself is the minute that you're not extending yourself enough grace. The minute that you rush yourself or you put this really tight timeline on yourself when you know everything happens in divine timing. It doesn't matter how much you try to push it and force it and shape it. If it's not meant to happen right now, it's not going to happen right now. There's a lot here with this green energy, but also like this orange energy. I believe orange is sacral, but I get sacral from this card. So some sacral chakra work as well. See this position, putting your hand on your heart and your hand on your sacral chakra and sending love to those areas. And don't move them until you feel like an energetic shift. Spend time with yourself. We also have all four suits now that come out. This is have come out. This is the Knight of Cups. I'm drawn to how he's beheaded someone. This person has snakes in their hair. This Medusa sort of energy. So there could have been some, a past with, I'm going to give a trigger warning here, but with like SA that could have caused this sort of severing in your heart chakra energy and in your sacral energy. You could be very disconnected from your body because of this experience. And this could have been someone that you trusted, someone that was very close to you. Could have been someone that you had a relationship with, a friend, a family member, just someone that you would have never expected to do whatever this is. And that's what's causing this sort of dislocation between your heart and your body. Very sorry if this has happened to you. And so it's kind of severed you off from your emotions as well. And so it not only makes it hard for you to trust other people, but it also makes it hard for you to trust yourself. And I have experienced this, so I can understand how it kind of creates this paradoxical effect where you feel like you didn't protect yourself when you needed it most. I can only speak from my own experience, but this is sort of the energy that I'm getting. And so when it comes to drawing certain things in, you are constantly on edge because you have such a hard time trusting that good things stay, but also that you're deserving of good things happening to you. And your higher self is asking you, and it's so difficult to integrate this sort of pain. But the moment that you forgive yourself, because you didn't deserve it, you didn't ask for it. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You didn't deserve this, you didn't ask for it. No means no. And even if there wasn't a verbalization of no, your no, rather it was physically or whatever the case, still means no, and it's a valid no. But with this sort of energy, you could not really want to talk about it. You could not really want to speak about it. Again, very, very understandable. But it's this energy that's causing a dislocation between who you know you're meant to be and who you currently are. So I would ask for divine guidance from your higher self on how exactly to help you and assist you in releasing this energy. But like I said, just grounding it to your body helps a lot. I picked up dance. Dance helps me a lot connect my mind body connection, because when that happens, there's a severance there, there's a split, because a lot of the times sometimes you're not even mentally within the space. You've mentally gone somewhere else to keep from connecting to this very traumatic experience that's happening in your body. And when that sort of split happens, it takes a lot of time to try to reintegrate the two back together. But it is very possible. There was a split here between your mind and your body. Something that I say a lot: as long as you don't find purpose in your pain, you're forever a victim. And I say that with so much love extended to you. But there's an energy of how much time do you believe, how much more energy and time do you believe that they deserve in this new chapter of your life? Who are they to take anything else from you? We got the King of Cups. Yeah, your higher self is sending you a lot of like love and just emotional fulfillment. And it wants you to connect with your heart and your sacral so that you can feel it. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but sometimes just sitting in the silence and feeling your own hands against your body and your own energy wrapped within your own energy is like it's very healing. You could feel just even very awkward, like just touching yourself, because there's this energy of not trusting yourself. But our higher selves are the most patient with us, because they know that in the right time, when it's meant to find us, we're going to find and end up exactly where we're supposed to be. Even if you don't necessarily want to I don't think you need to do like an entire course in in healing focused work in order to heal this. You know what I'm also drawn with these 4 suits here, because I just took a tarot class. I'm not tarot class, but maybe I should, maybe you should get into intuitive work, because we usually have the most insane backgrounds, but it gives us this deeper connection with ourselves and with others, and just this enormous capacity for empathy. So maybe that should be something that you get into if you've been interested in it. But I took a Reiki class, and I've said for like quite some time that I feel like healing was like a 3-part system, and they said healing is like a 4-part system. Very similar, but they combined mental and emotion, or I combined mental and emotional. But I can understand why they separate them, because your mentality is different from your emotions. But this could be a call to, if you are looking to work through and heal some of this trauma around SA in your heart and your sacral chakra, focus in on these 4 categories of healing. And it does not have to be anything major, but as far as physically, maybe going to the gym 3 days a week. If you've been looking into doing like maybe a Pilates class, which I know those can kind of be expensive. So YouTube has some great videos. Do some at-home Pilates. Going for walks if you're in a warmer climate. Hiking. I love hiking. I picked up hiking going with a few clients of mine, and I absolutely loved it. Dance is a great way. You're never too old to pick up a new hobby or something that could be very heart aligned for you. I did not expect that would ever be something that I was interested in. When I say I love it, I absolutely love it. And it literally calls you. You have to connect your mind with your body in order to make these sort of beautiful shapes and movements. And I just absolutely, it's just one of my favorite things in the world to do. Lifting, so many different types of physical movement that you can do outside of just conventional going to the gym if that's not what you like. But I would recommend to add that physical aspect in. And then for your mentality, affirmations, writing out your beliefs, not the ones that you want to have, but the ones that you currently have about every situation of your life. So financially, physically, about who you are as a person. What are your beliefs about yourself? And then what are your beliefs about other people? What are your beliefs about money? What are your beliefs about the world? Get to know yourself. Interview yourself. Understand your mentality. And then I want you to focus in on the mental beliefs that you have that are beneficial to your highest version, to your highest timeline that you're trying to align with, and which ones are just not so in alignment. Not good or bad, but which ones are in alignment with that highest version of you, and which ones are not. An example would be, saying money is the root of all evil. Is that in alignment? Is that statement in alignment with the highest timeline that you're looking to have? As far as mentally, been in therapy for 11 years now. Therapy doesn't work unless you put the work in, but there's great tools that you can learn, and it's also a super safe space, especially if you have a hard time trusting people. This person is bound by law to not go around and tell your business. It may take a couple different therapists. I think I've been to 5, and on my 5th one, she has been like just the most soul aligned, heart aligned person for me to be with. And that's not to say that everything has been perfect. It's not to say that she hasn't said stuff that has rubbed me the wrong way, but it was always what I needed to hear. And that is what I love about her, is that she doesn't sugarcoat anything. So it may take a little time, be flexible and open to it. They've got online, in person. It may be kind of difficult sometimes to find an in-person person, but again, Call on your higher self and your spiritual team to help and support you in this stuff. You're not alone and you don't have to do it by yourself. But therapy would be what I would do to help with like the emotional aspect, and also just allowing yourself to feel all of the feelings. You know, the anger, let yourself feel it. The rage, the jealousy, the resentment, the sadness. Suppressing it is not getting rid of it. It is just making it worse. It's like compound interest. And then when it comes out, it's in the worst way and in the worst moments. And it's because you're not allowing yourself to feel, and also not judging yourself for feeling that way. You may believe that like the highest version of you does not have these emotions, but there's a high probability that this higher version of you still does on some level have these moments, because they're still human. They're not this perfect, you know, I don't know, just perfect encapsulation, which is somehow times how I feel like we put our higher self on a pedestal because we call it our higher self. But it's just like in this higher dimension, they're just like in a tapped into a different timeline. But this does not mean that that is a perfect person. That is just a person that has figured out how to love themselves perfectly, how to have those moments and just extend themselves grace and understanding, and knowing that we are still very much a human being living a human experience. And then what I would say for the spiritual aspect, tap into spirituality however spirituality calls to you. If you are a religious person, there is nothing wrong with that. Just let it be a very healing experience for you in all the ways, you know. And you know, I feel like that's a very personalized journey. But whatever fulfills you spiritually and feels heart aligned for you spiritually is what I would call you to fixate on. Or not fixate on, but call you to, yeah, draw your attention into, and make it a daily practice, you know? Unpopular opinion, but, you know, only tapping into your spirituality 1 or 2 days a week is not, for me, it didn't feel like enough. You know, spirituality is an everyday thing for me. You know, I do Reiki on myself every morning now. I meditate every single day, and sometimes multiple times in a day. I do sleep hypnosis, subliminals, tarot, because I need as much support as possible. I really do. I really do need as much support as possible. So, you know, figure out what works for you. And again, do not judge yourself while you're in this process of defining what exactly is best for you and during this time. Give me 1 second, guys, because I am going to close this out here, but I did feel drawn to get a reading on what the King of Cups represents: the ability to manage and contain powerful emotions without being overwhelmed by them. What feelings are you being challenged to control? Yeah, what feelings are you suppressing? What are the things that you don't want to talk about, even with yourself? Releasing this and working with this energy is what's going to align you with their higher self and your highest timeline. You got this. I send you off with all the love in the world. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever you feel led to do, or don't. I just appreciate you being here and spending your time with me. I send you guys off with love. Have a good day. Bye.